Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, or in fact welcome back to the Cartographer. There has been an update for the game, but it is an experimental update if you're watching these as they come out. Update 0.40.01 is available on the experimental branch of the game, but last time we tried to play experimental, the game kept restarting on us and it was making for very bad recordings. So we've made the decision to stay with the stable branch, but it means that there's nothing for us to do at the moment because we've explored all of these islands in this world, and instead of just remaking the map, which we are going to do, because a lot of the plant life which we will need for medicines in the next stable update is just not there at the moment. What I thought we could do is just make a new island while we are waiting for that stable update to appear, like a thing that has not shown itself. I don't know. Let's create a new island. Create a new island. Yes, a thing that has not shown itself. Maybe a unicorn. Maybe Poseidon himself. So we have this island. This is, if you are new to this, this is the map editor. We have water, we have the sea, which is very, very dark because it does go on forever. And this is one of the newer style islands with the nice sloping sides to it, which means sharks and stuff shouldn't really go under the island as much. I think that's one of the theories. Also, it means you get these lovely shelving beaches. So that's kind of nice. I'm not sure if we had this when we were making our new home island. What we can do straight away is hit display ocean. Blam. There we go. That's what we're dealing with. That actually saves us a lot of time in that instead of making a very shallow sea around the island, we've already got this lovely curved section. Now we can... so thinking we could always... rando generate a few islands just to get ourselves going. But what I was thinking of doing for this one is going back to an earlier version of the game when the world was slightly different. I'm thinking maybe make a Crescent island and throw in a few shipwrecks and a few interesting things to go and explore. So we can just rando generate a few islands, but I don't think it's going to help us too much. No, I think basically what we're going to need to do is just roll up our sleeves and get in there. Right, fine. Items, trees, rocks, animal structures. Excellent, motorbikes. So that's that time of year, I guess. So we'll get the old boat out. We'll turn the sea back on. Yeah, you might have to contend with traffic driving past the old motorbikes with the very loud exhaust pipes. I do have one, but its brakes are a little bit broken at the moment. Objects everywhere. Right, this is what I want to do. So we'll lift that off the ground, and basically what I'm looking for is to have it in such a way. So if you hit R, you can rotate, and if you press T, you can transform. There we go. So I just want it so it's just a little bit deep. Right, okay. Now we can change, turn the ocean off. Good. Terrain, smooth height, no. Set height, yes. Read from about. In fact, let's move the object closer to the land. Has that raised it out of the sea any? Yes, it has. I thought it might have done that. So press T, click on the object, bring it down. Press R, so we rotate it. It gives us an optimal depth because I prefer the shallow seas rather than deep seas. Turn the ocean off. So let's go back to objects, click on that, bring it out a little bit, and just turn the sea back on. We can always turn the sea back on and off. We're not going to lose anything except for time by doing that. So that's nice. The mast is sticking out of the sea, but the rest of the boat is underwater. That is what we like because it gives us enough depth to work with. So ocean off, set height. Size down, read from front of the boat. Bloop. And then what we can do is change the size up, change the amount up. Target value has been set, and that sort of just brings it up into a nice plateau. Brilliant. I'm not going to go too far into the island because that's going to start carving into what we've already got. So let's just drive around, brush around. Oh, I went to reach for something that's not going to work. I went for the square brackets. That's a Photoshop thing, so let's not do that. Let's just making the brush a little bit wider, but that's not going to have an effect here. So yeah, we're just raising this platform up around the outside. That gives us this lovely plateau to work from, and also has a much shallower sea. So if you do happen to go diving, you're not going to be diving into the abyss, because this will go down, and it gets very, very dark. Even with the sea off, you'll find that gets super dark. And that's a little bit of a problem. I don't like that. I don't think many people do. So what we're going to do is go round, just trying to carefully brush in to this point here so it joins, but we don't carve into the island itself. It's a little bit tricky. Soft edge brush, why not? Because that is a thing. We're sort of brushing around. It's not too bad. We're just sort of judging by the shadows at the moment because there's not really too much more to go on. Right, have we messed up the outside of this sort of island cake thing? Nope, there's a little bit of stretch there, but not too bad. I don't want to raise up the mesh, so because you can actually go too close to the edge of the world or edge of the square and just raise up this mesh, and then you get these huge gaps. And I'm fearful of things sort of crawling or swimming underneath them. That might be a little bit of an issue. So what we're going to do is look this way and brush in the rest of this. There we go. We can always brush the island out. That's not even an issue. So we're just trying to make it so there's no proper visible join. We're going to smooth that off afterwards anyway. So that's the last bit there. Cool. Right, speaking of smoothing, we're going to have to go around the outside just to smooth off that edge, because otherwise there's a visible edge, and if you happen to be swimming underwater, you'll be like, yeah, what's that now? So we'll hit up smooth. Size is fine. The amount's quite high, but let's give that a little play. Yeah, that's nice. So it's brushing and smoothing. Yeah. Nice. So what we're going to do is make a Crescent island. So I was thinking about this, and I was also on Beam Team's Trello page, which is the page that they have a lot of information about the future of the game and ideas that they may or may not be putting into the game. And they were talking about things like island hopping, wreck hopping. So I think we might have to throw some wrecks on this one. The last big island that we did was the home island, and there's very few wrecks on that. It's meant as a home island. It still needs a few tweaks and a few bits and pieces because the plants that are supposedly coming in the next update haven't been added to the main build of the game yet, and they are simply an experimental, and I don't really want to hop into experimental to finish the island. Experimental, yeah, we had some bad experiences in that, and I believe 0.40.01 has some issues. Some interesting issues. Change the size down. Yeah, the issues being that I think some of the ingredients for certain things are missing, like shelters and stuff, palm bunches, sticks. Apparently, people are saying are missing. Apparently, rafts now have rudders, and that's going to be an interesting one. Especially, I'm assuming that's only for the rafts with a sail rather than the raft with a motor. I don't know why you'd have an outboard motor and then you'd be like, oh, I'm going to put a rudder on it as well. So, what? So I think that's the way it is. Somebody also said that if you eat coconuts, your dude will now poop himself. And I'm like, really? Really? Coconuts are full of vitamins and minerals, including 37% of your RDA of iron, and they have potassium and a bunch of cool stuff in them. So artificially limiting the intake of things like fruit seems a little bit of an odd design decision. Also, I saw an image of somebody's experimental game, and I believe it had a square-rigged raft, and I'm like, what? No. Seriously? It looked a little bit strange. So a square-rigged raft is not something you would normally have in real life because... Let's get rid of that. Yes. Because of... Well, if you're trying to pilot a vessel by yourself, a one-person ocean-going vessel, you would probably have a triangular-rigged vessel because it's just easier to control the sails. Right. Okay. So we have our world. We have our little island square. Whoop! I've just changed the time of day. I don't want to do that. Let's leave it about midday. Just turn the ocean off. So we have now a sort of a shallow sea around the outside. We have a nice smooth edge to the world, and we have one of these nice gently sloping sides of the island. That's a good place to start. Now what we're going to do is turn the sea back on, because we are going to just raise and lower. And I think what we're going to need to do is, what we're going to need to do is map out. Let's get some objects in on this. Let's get some rocks in here. So let's get some cliffs. Cliff 6. Right. Okay. So which way do you want to go? Up or down? Yes, this is a little tricky. Scale is a bit of an issue for us. Always has been a bit of an issue. So I'm going to do, I can always clone that by pressing C, press T. Actually, no, let's delete that. Boop, let's go there. Because if you grab something from here, it'll follow the terrain. Let's see. It'll follow the terrain. Whereas if you clone something, it won't. It'll stay on its last axis. So what I want is a kind of open front to the island. What we're going to do is raise up the terrain in a sort of crescent shape, but I'm using these objects to kind of marker pen out the island. Actually, a marker pen like overlay might be a really good idea. So you can just kind of say, this is where this should be. That'd be nice. I use that a lot of work actually. So if someone says, "Oh, you need to do an edit on this photograph," and I'm like, "All right, I'll do an edit on this photograph." I'll make a new layer, a new transparent layer. Grab a nice red brush, and then brush in sort of all the edits that I'm going to need to do. It's like, these people need to be over here, and this needs to be removed from the background, and so these trees or this lamppost. So we've got this kind of circular shape. Okay. What we can also do is have a secondary thing here. These islands are quite big, so they always look tiny when you start off. We can always move this one out as well a little bit. So let's kind of do something like this. Maybe. Yeah, that seems all right. This is just so we can actually maybe even just carve in, bring this out a bit. Let's turn the water off. Water, you turn off now. You turn off now. Press T. No, that's. I always get confused. The little brush comes up. Okay, so we can bring this out, I guess. Right, that might give us some more real estate to play with, because if we make a thin crescent island, we're actually going to lose our kind of real estate as we do that. So let's move it out to here, maybe. Let's clone that. I press C. Let's bring that out there. So we're going to need to sort of bring this out. Okay. Then we can probably bring that in. Bring that in. And then bring that in as well. Is that going to work? Oops. Let's bring that further in. I guess so. What I'm aiming for is like a lagoon, maybe, and then a larger back end of the island. We can always leave these cliffs here and actually do something with these cliff 6 sort of constructions. Maybe making like an underground area or something. Yeah. All right. Okay, fine. So what we're going to need to do is set up terrain. I think we're going to need the set height brush. Let us read from... I really do like these gently sloping beaches, but I think this might actually... Okay. Let's change the amount down. Click on an area. Let's click there. And if we bring this out all gentle light, yeah, that's going to create a very, very steep edge. Size and amount. Let's change the amount down so that we've got a more of a softer brush to work with. There we go. There we go. And we can always smooth it back. Smooth it back. Brush it out. Smooth it back. Brush it out. Smooth it back. It's going to be the order of the day, I feel. So what we're doing is we're brushing along these objects. We're going to get rid of these objects. Don't worry about it. These just give us a little marker or a little waypoints to actually brush towards. We can always raise the ground up afterwards. We're just sort of loosely brushing over what we have at the moment. So let's raise it up. Up. Nice. And of course, from here, it all looks triangular and edgy. If we go in closer, it's going to get softer and softer. That's LOD, or level of detail. The game will render less level of detail when you're far away, because in like normal gameplay, you wouldn't necessarily see stuff from this height or this angle. So it goes, to save processing power, this is what we're going to do. We're going to lower the detail in areas that you just are unlikely to see. So yeah, fun stuff. Computers are quite interesting if you're into that sort of thing. Let's go out this way. So let's go this way. Yes. Okay. So we've brushed everything out. And if we turn the ocean back on, bloop, so we have this kind of beachy stuff. It is actually above the waterline, which is nice, real nice. It's looking a bit. We're gonna have to refine it a little bit, I think, definitely. But for the time being, what we can hit up is smooth. Ooh, smooth height. Right, fine. And we are going to just crank it up and rip the knob off, I think. So I'm going to do that. And then brush out this way. And we're going to keep brushing. Just going to keep brushing and brushing and brushing. And the reason for that is, did I say rip the knob off? I meant rip the knob off. There we go. There we go. So hopefully that's going to be a little bit more of a gentle slope towards the sea. We're going to just build it up and then brush it back. Build it up and brush it back. What am I doing? I've grabbed the thing. I don't want to grab the thing. Some of these brushes are a bit weird. Like these ones. Why do you want a Petri dish of like rando stuff? And these ones, I'm sure somebody has use for them, but the soft brush is the go-to girl for this sort of stuff. The harder edge brush is where you want like a ravine or a definite drop-off or something. So we're going to go round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And this point of the game is, this point of the build is always a bit of a weird one, because you start off and you're like, you know what? I don't really know what I'm doing. Does this look right? Is this even big enough? Is this going to be cool? I don't know. And then you get sort of, a little way in, and you start putting trees and stuff down, and it starts really popping in. So I'm not too worried about things at the moment. So yeah, we're smoothing this off. We're going to flick the ocean back on to see what we've created, and what we've created is still very steep. So we stand here and we're like, oh, this is stranded deep. Hello, welcome to the channel. It's a little steeper than I would like. So what we might do is build that up a little bit more. Do that. Set height. Do we get set height? We can actually, yeah. Set height has been ripped off. So the amount slide is still maintains its little thingy. Let's raise and lower. Let's hit set. And let's go boop. So if we bring that out. Yeah, so that is lower, isn't it? Yeah, let's just quickly brush around and then use the smoothing tool once more afterwards. So we're trying to maintain that sort of dome shape that the island had originally, because It's nice. It's nice if you can gently splash down into the water. It's nice if you can get your raft up and there's a gentle fall off in the undersea environment, rather than just, hey, here's an island, here's a cliff, your raft is now stopped. Have fun with that. So we're just bringing this out, bringing it out. I think we've already been around the island once. We're getting greedy now. Oh no, we are still building it up. We're going to smooth it off so this height will be lost momentarily. Don't worry ye not. So there we go. So we've built that up. Then we are going to hit smooth height. Excellent. Some noises outside. I'm like, what is that? And I think somebody's steering mechanism is leaking or grinding, or they've just driven over a rock, which happens in the countryside. That's things that happen. Other things that happen, we get a lot of attack helicopters flying overhead. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Yeah. It's when you live in the area where there's a lot of naval traffic or a lot of ocean traffic, and you get a lot of helicopters, anti-submarine warfare helicopters. So they that's a fun thing if you think, oh, I'm going to move to the countryside where there is the sea and all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, oh, great, it is a beautiful countryside, no? And then you're like, why are there so many anti-submarine warfare helicopters flying overhead, and they're like going, and it's like, well, it's because you live next to the sea, my friend. So what we've done is we've gone around. We've done that again, haven't we? Blammo. So we have now got a gently sloping. It's all right. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So we have kind of pushed out. There's water over here. We need to do something with this lagoon, I think. Okay, let's do that. So what we're going to do is find reason line. Nah, mate. We're going to set height. I'm going to go boop. Going to select it there. Going to change the amount down because that's caught us out before in the past. Let's have a little click, clickety clicks. Cool. So we're pushing in. Nice. We can always leave something in the middle, I guess. So let's do that. Ooh, let's have a little channel over here. I like it when you start brushing, and then it's like, oh, you know what? Let's have a channel here and a channel here. We can actually go a little bit deeper on here. Nice. That's looking real good. Set height. Remember to keep setting it and then move it back. Cool. Excellent. So we've got a kind of a big old lagoon thing going on there. Good. What we probably don't have is a nice smooth coastline. Nope. All right. So we're going to hit up terrain. We're going to hit up this. We are going to change the size down. Just size down. Size up. We can't see because when the brush goes on the water, it vanishes. Unless you're under the water. I think that was the thing. Okay, right. Display ocean off. Smooth. Make sure it's on the right brush, because if you've hit display ocean, then it ain't going to be working that well. Crank the amount up. And then brush in here, just to make sure it is actually smooth. Nice. So we've lost a lot of the width on that bit of peninsula, as it were. But we are going to rip the knob off. I think when it comes to smoothing, there's no point in just sort of sitting around. You just have to crank it up and just go for it. This area here is a little bit lumpy bumpy, so it's almost invisible. The amount of lumpy bumpiness is there, but it's still, I can see it. And then there's a bit of sort of stuff there. So what we can do now is set height. Kind of read off something that's made of sand. Are you made of sand? You are made of sand. Excellent. Read you. Come over here. Crank the amount down. There we go. And bring that up. Oh, I think, yeah, I'm not sure if this was to do with the sharks or whether it's to do with the storms. I think that might have been the thing where you had storms and stuff. Yes. What do we actually want to do with this? Let's turn the ocean back on. So we come here. Let's go down. That doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. That's like real nice. Bearing in mind that I have like seaweed and stuff in there as well. What we can do is ram a boat on here. Let us do that. Let's do that as a sort of a centerpiece thing. So let's go up here. Rocks, structures, and we want a ship fit for a king. Is a ship fit for a king? We're not even looking at it. Let's delete that. Yes. Okay, it's orientated in the same way. I don't think I want that one. It's too big. You're too big. That one's probably a much better one for us to use. There's nothing. 3A. Yeah. What we could do is we could create like an island of wrecks. Like, hey, here's a shipwreck, and hey, if you want to jump from one shipwreck to the other. Because one of the things was in the Trello account is the fact that they have like shipwreck hopping ? And there's a photograph of a reef with a lot of shipwrecks on it. So I think we might even be able to do something like that. No. What? Well, let's get rid of that while we still got it selected. Sea fort bridge broken. That's actually a really useful thing to have. The sea forts, if I was going to put sea forts in, I would probably put them in at this point because they would be the first thing to be loaded. I have a feeling when people go, because we've had the problem before, sea forts not being loaded, and I think that's to do with the fact that they are, they need to be one of the first objects to be loaded. I have a feeling that's something to do with it. I can't, don't quote me on that 100%. In fact, don't quote me on that any percent. Just don't. No, shh, calm now. So what we could do is, I'm looking at shipwreck 6A. Big old shipwreck. That's a big old wreck. Let's put it in. Let's rotate it. Are you too big? I believe he's too big. Right. Let's go for something a little bit more manageable. In fact, let's do this. Let us do this. Nope. 7A. 7A is the one that's on the side. Yes. Yes. All right. Let's do this. So what I'm doing is just while the island is, in fact, we could probably use that entire thing. Nice. There is usually a chest or a crate that spawns in there. Okay, right. So what we're doing is we're playing around with the stuff that the game gives us, and the game doesn't give us a lot, so we have to get very, very creative with what we have. And the reason I'm doing this now, instead of saying, we're going to finish the entire island, my boys, is the fact that this is kind of like a centerpiece part of the island. So we are going to use these pieces to create a shipwreck fit for stranded deep, which means just having some spars poking out of the sand in some instances. This will probably create, in fact, that might all that's needed there, to be honest. That looks pretty nice. That does actually look real nice. Looks like her back was broken. A lot of it's sort of washed away. You've got a bit of A bit of the superstructure on the front, but not really too much. Yeah, good. Well, we'll put some trees and stuff on there as well. And then you have a more intact rack. Let's movie down a little bit. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is maybe, because I was going to use a seafort bridge, but have it so that you had to leap from one to the other. So that was like a little jumping thing. But I'm thinking it's a bit much. It's a little bit much. And maybe we can put some rocks in there or something, and then have you jump from here onto the rock, onto the wreck. Wreck. Yeah, that might actually work. That doesn't look too bad the way it is. Let's rotate you on the blue so you're a little bit tilted over. Let's press the T. Bring it around. We'll check underwater as well. So it's kind of a hazard to rafting. Oop, there we go. The door is on this side as well, I believe. Let's have a look underwater. You are in fact floating. You are in fact floating. That's a bit of an issue, but an issue that can be resolved. Not that difficult to resolve it. So we got some big old rocks. Big rock. It's a big old rock. We got some big rock too. So what would have happened here? Well, you would have wrecked yourself because you didn't check yourself. No, that was terrible. I apologize. Well, I don't actually. So what we're doing is we've got this rock. We have to put that there. Big. Oh my. Yeah, that's actually pretty sweet. So you could be like, oh, I've got to jump from here to here. And then you'll be like, whoa, I drowned. You might be able to get up there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, it's not even a really that terrible a thing, because you can still use these orange handles to get on there. The water might be a bit tricksy just because of the way the water works, but you know, it's not too much of a problem. And if we throw in something like that, does that mean you can just walk across? Yeah, I don't want it so you can just walk across, but I do want it so that it looks like there's something there. There we go. How wonderful is that? So we got these two boats. Two boats. We're going to just turn the water off. Display ocean. Thank you very much. And we are going to hit up terrain. We are going to hit up raise and lower. In fact, no, we're not. First of all, we're going to save. Yeah, we should probably save. Let's go up here. What should we call it? So we hit save. New map. So we can call it Crescent Crescent Island. A short description goes here. Hey. Oh, that's not even capitalized. Wait. What? It went funny. It didn't want me to delete the thing. Oh, I can't see around my can't see around my microphone. A traditional island from the olden days. That's talking about like 0.12. So we'll hit save, blam, and hit resume, because if you are going to be digging around after you've got a bunch of work done on your island, you probably do want to save it every now and again, just in case something goes crazy, like you've forgotten to change this amount slider and you've hit lower, and then you click, and then blam, you've got a hole that's going to take you days to fill in. So we've got the amount turned all the way down. And the reason for that is you can see it's just creeping up under the hull. There we go, me lads. So we're sort of moving this up, and we can do same on the other side as well. It's going blue. Everything's gone blue because we're below the waterline, and it adds a blue filter. Yeah. So that's how that works. So we'll do this. We'll probably just leave the front of the boat, just kind of poking out there. In the sea, I'm going to smooth that. Of course we're going to smooth it. It's not even a question at this point. We are going to turn the amount up though. There we go. There we go. Smoothing. What about the other side? Smooth. Yar, Jim lad. The ocean, she be smooth. I don't even know what accent this is. I'm wondering if I'm going a little bit Irish there. So, we got the rocks, we're going to hit that terrain, and we are going to put the ocean back on. Blam! So, the ocean is back on. That's actually sat on something. It's important to me, at any rate, to have things kind of, well, logical, I guess, is the logical thing to call it. Yeah, so I don't like things just floating in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to throw in another big rock. If you don't... Oh my god! Why am I... Oh, because I'm supposed to be pulling it from there. Yes, I forgot you can actually just click and drag, or click and hold, and you just move the entire menu up and down. So we need to go in here. We need to go here. Let's press T. I can't actually see my keyboard. This is a bit of a problem. So if you get your sort of digits misaligned on the keys, you end up pressing random things. Fun. So let's press that. Let's do this. Let's bring it down, then up, and down, and up. So it looks like the bow is just pressed against those rocks. The stern is against those rocks, and the rudder has been ripped off. Rudder and the screw are completely gone. And then this thing here, back's been broken, and they're sat in this sort of crescent-shaped lagoon. Nice. Ocean is back on. Brilliant. Well, we do have a lot of island, which needs to be built up around the back. That's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. You know what? I'm going to call it there for the time being. So if you like these map editor episodes, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe, and you know what? I'll catch you next time.